What's shaking, everybody? Ross Mandell here, coming to you live, 5 p.m. every Wednesday, live from TNA Studios in Miami. My dear friend, Drew Delgado, the Double D man from Miami. What's shaking, baby? How we doing?
We're back. We're back.
Now, tell everybody where you were the last few weeks.
I was in the good city of Paris, France. It's always nice to go there, and I was there for a little bit, going to visit my lady. She's out there. She's in the culinary schools out there, being a pastry chef. So
That's exactly what I would like to do. I'd like to be with a lady that I could send to Paris to study how to cook desserts for me.
let me tell you,
'Cause I'm not fat enough.
Oh, yeah, I felt like I gained some weight.
He looks like he put on a few pounds.
I did.
He's a husky Cuban fellow.
I'm looking a little husky. I try to wear black, but I don't think it masked it this time around.
So what's shaking, man? What are we talking about today?
Well, there was a couple things that were brought to me that didn't involve the capital markets, didn't involve business formation, didn't involve prison. It was apparently mixed martial arts, and I guess the run-in you had with mixed martial arts. I want to say it was right before you exited Sky Capital. Is that right?
Yeah. So I've been sort of training in and around the gym my whole life.
Okay.
When I was young, I was powerlifting. I was on the wrestling team, and I played football. And throughout one constant throughout my life has always been the gym, fitness, etc. And there was a time in my 40s when I was bench pressing without proper warm-ups, and I hurt my shoulder really badly.
Yeah.
I felt something pop. I had 3 plates on each side, 315 pounds. And
That's a lot of weight.
And I was able to do that pretty handily at the time. And but I didn't warm up. I was sort of showing off for a couple of stockbrokers on Wall Street.
Yeah.
And I heard something pop in my shoulder, and I felt it. And instead of racking it up, I went and did an extra repetition.
Show us that last rep.
And after that, I got off the bench press, and I felt something in my shoulder. It just went numb. Like I didn't feel anything. No pain, nothing. And I just couldn't even feel my arm. And I was okay. But the next morning I woke up and my arm was dead. My left arm was literally dead. In fact, to drive, I used to have to use my right arm to pick up my left arm to hold onto the steering wheel.
Oh, wow.
I lost all motion. And so I went to an orthopedic surgeon, and he said, you need surgery. You tore your laborum, you tore your rotator cuff, like 9 different things.
Yeah.
And just, while I was in prison all these years, I went for numerous x-rays, MRIs, and they said I need a new shoulder. I have no cartilage left. So it was very interesting. I was very against surgery and all that stuff. And I went to see an acupuncturist.
Tell me about that.
Yang Ping Zhu, who I'm seeing currently, preparing me to get me in prime shape for my Las Vegas journey.
That's very soon.
So in the last 8 days, I've had 3 treatments, and I'm going again tomorrow for a little tune-up. She puts about 100 needles in me. I lay on my back in the front, and then I lay on my stomach.
That's how it really is.
I lay on my stomach, literally 100 to 150 needles. And it's no joke, but
Does it hurt?
It's not very pleasant. It's not pleasant. It's not terribly painful.
I mean, is it deep?
Well, she tends to go a little deep. She has what I call a heavy hand.
Oh.
But so to make a long story short, and I was also at the time taking growth hormone, testosterone, prescribed from my doctor, who ran an anti-aging clinic in Boca Raton. And so I went to see the surgeon. He did a bunch of pictures, and he said, you need surgery 100%. So I didn't go for the surgery. But I went to a Yang Ping Zhu, Delray Beach, Florida. She's the best. People flying from all over the world to see Yang Ping. And she's really a healer. And I was shooting growth hormone directly into my shoulder. And to make a long story short, when I went back 3 months later to the orthopedic surgeon, he did an x-ray, digital x-ray, and he said, listen, I'm really not allowed to say this, but whatever you're doing, it's working. and he actually showed me how things were like sort of growing back together. Tissue.
Wow.
It was really an amazing thing.
Wow.
All right. So to make a long story short, I was going back to the gym. I was very tentative, but the weights felt completely uncomfortable. So I ran into a guy named Billy Patton. Billy, what's shaking, baby? Billy was an NCAA collegiate champion in boxing.
Okay.
He was a 4-time NCAA collegiate champion in 4 different weight classes. He was going to be the next great middleweight, according to Sugar Ray Leonard on HBO, fought on HBO. But he blew out his knee, and that cost him his career in professional fighting. And he became a world-class trainer. He's trained like 6 world champions. He's very active in the Boca Raton area, in the gyms. He's trained a lot of the top UFC guys, a lot of the World Boxing Association guys, literally 6 world champions. And Billy said to me, look, I can help you heal your shoulder, but you're going to have to work out with me. And it's a boxing workout. I'm going to train you to be a boxer, and you're going to fight, etc. And so for several years, I worked out with Billy and went to his gyms, Punch Fitness, on Hillsborough Boulevard, which I'm not sure if it's still around, but there's several other gyms we went to, including American Top Team in Coconut Creek, Dan Lampert.
They're big.
And to make a long story short, my left shoulder started to heal, and I got strength back, and I could do push-ups and dips, and I was able to punch and jab and hook and all these good things. And I started to really love the fighting workout, the training workout. It's a great workout. If you don't have to actually fight. You can spar nicely, but it's a great workout, and it's not mundane, like just doing curls and bench presses and the same old
spicy.
This is like a little more action. It's interactive, and it's really cool. I love punching and all that kind of stuff. So I started to do a little boxing and a little they had some sparring matches for me. And in all these fighting gyms we used to go to, I saw a lot of guys rolling around doing jujitsu and MMA. And so I piqued my interest, and I started training in jujitsu and mixed martial arts, etc. And I trained with guys like Marcus Aurelio and Thiago Alves. I mean, so these guys were the top champions in the UFC, in the top 5 in their weight classes always, and black belts in jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and all that kind of good stuff.
We got a comment here from Coach Andre Benke.
Benke, what's up, baby?
I remember it like it was. I remember it. This guy was strong as a bull.
Benke was one of the top MMA trainers, still is, by the way, in the world. Brazilian. He trained Thiago Alves all the way to be fighter of the year.
Wow.
And fought for the title in UFC 100 against maybe one of the best fighters of all time, George St. Pierre. And while George St. Pierre beat him, he went 5 rounds with the champ and really showed what a great man he is.
Wow.
Thiago's a great fellow. He's a friend and all that. Benke, what's up, baby? Call me when you get into town. All right. I sent you a message today. I'll help him. I'm going to hook him up. So, yeah. So I got very involved in the mixed martial arts scene.
Okay.
And, at that time I had just, had been leaving Wall Street, but there was a lot of press about me. And all these fighters saw me on the news and on CNBC and on Fox Business, etc. They Googled me. Everybody knows everything today.
Yeah.
There are no more secrets. You got to be transparent.
Yeah.
Take a look. Check me out. I am who I am. Don't take my word for it. Go to the Wall Street Journal. Go to Forbes. Just take a look. You'll see I am who I am. And so a lot of the guys saw I was sort of like a money guy, a Wall Street guy, an expert in capital formation, structure, etc. So a lot of guys in that business were looking to grow business. Everybody saw the UFC. Bellator had just started, came on the scene, and guys were asking me for help, ideas, money, etc. So I met with a few guys. They threw a couple of big events, like in the American Airlines Arena where the Miami Heat play and so forth. And I started to see a lot of business plans from all the local promotions.
Okay.
And, listen, I'm a guy that has been looking to isolate opportunities financially and to isolate value, because just like everybody else, anything worth doing is worth doing for money. Right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to do it, and if there's $1 to be made, what the heck? I'm not a communist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started to see all these business plans, and I started to realize that these guys were smart guys in the fight game, and they understood different things, but They were terrible business guys.
Okay.
You know, hope is a terrible business strategy.
It is.
You can't, you know, put up money, rent an arena, create advertising, hire street teams, come up with a great fight card, and then hope you're going to sell tickets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who does that? I mean, it's just crazy.
A lot of people.
A lot of people do. They don't really understand business structure. Sign up for my course, The Wealth Formula. It's live on my website. We're going to teach you how to take an idea, a dream, a belief, and turn it into $1 million business in a very simple step-by-step process. Please don't do this without some idea of what you're doing. So I watched a bunch of guys go into the business and fail.
Yeah.
And so I started to study mixed martial arts, fighting as a business opportunity. And I realized that there's a great deal of money in it. And I realized that, you know, like Wall Street, where in one day you can do an IPO and make $1 billion. What other business in one day can you make, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars?
Yeah, fighting.
The fight game. Don King, God bless him, created pay-per-view when he couldn't get any money for Muhammad Ali's fights. He couldn't get enough money from you know, the media at the time. And he created the idea of pay-per-view. It's such a big event. If you really want to see it, you got to pay for it. And now, you know, that's a huge business today. The whole UFC, all their money is made on these
pay-per-views,
these big events. They sell pay-per-views. They make $100 million in one night.
Yeah.
They pay out, but they still take in about $100 million. Look at this Jake Paul, Mike Tyson thing that was just delayed. I mean, that's going to be a $200 million night. Look at the Conor McGregor, what he did.
Yeah, literally. I
I
believe if they haven't changed anything, Netflix, the first ever, Netflix was going to be hosting that
Correct.
fight.
So, you know, there are very few businesses where in one day you can walk away with $100 million.
Yeah.
And so that turned me on. And I studied it and I came up with a great formula. And so what happened was I was sort of mentoring a young man named Malky Kawa. What's up, my brother? Malky owns a company today called First Round Management. And at the time, he was just breaking into this business. He used to hang around the local gyms and try to find fighters, up-and-coming fighters, that he could sponsor and say, look, you're going into this fight. Do you have any sponsors? And most guys had none in those days. Because how about if I can get you $5,000 in sponsorships? You know, just have to put their name on your jersey or on your hat, or a T-shirt, or on your shorts, and I can get you some money. You got to give me 20%. They're getting 20. They're getting 80% of something versus 100% of nothing.
Yeah,
and that's how Malky Kawa broke into the sports management business. And today he's one of the top sports guys in America. He represents NFL players. He runs leagues for the youth all around Miami. I'm proud of you, my brother, and want to tag you in all this. And he built a really nice business, signing guys like Thiago Alves, signing guys like Jon Jones, the tops, the women all around, the bare knuckle fighting today. And together with Malky, I approached a guy named Dan Lampert, who owns all the American top teams in Florida. He founded them. He has a franchise operation, but he created them all. And he agreed to put all the American top teams into this deal. And at the time, it was like a hobby for Dan. He was in the timeshare business. And Dan had a promotion, a local promotion, because at the time there were not that many promotions. And fighters that train all day need to fight.
Yeah.
They need to really compete outside of the gym.
Yeah.
In front of a crowd. Because you have a lot of guys that are great fighters in the gym, but in front of a crowd, they sort of choke up.
Yeah.
A lot of great fighters, believe it or not, are gym fighters and not, big night fighters.
Yeah.
And so Dan signed up and agreed to put the American top teams into this company. And he sold me the AFC, which was like the American Fighting Championship.
Okay.
It was a local promotion where a lot of the fighters from American top team used to fight local promotion. And I had raised a whole bunch of money at the time before I was indicted. And then I approached Don King. And Don is Don, what's up, baby? I'm out, babe. I'm free. And Don and I met on and off for several weeks and eventually came to an agreement, which, if you know anything about Don King, that was a miracle unto itself. He is a tough businessman. Talk about shrewd. Talk about shifty. Don's got those moves.
Yeah.
But finally, we came to an agreement. We signed the papers. So we had Don King, Malky Kawa, Dan Lampert, me, first round management, American top team, the AFC, Don King Promotions. And we're getting ready to launch this big fight league. Over $40 million raised from private equity and hedge funds to launch, do a reverse merger into a NASDAQ shell. And we're supposed to go out to Vegas and announce this at UFC 100.
Wow.
And I get a call from my attorney 3 days before we were flying out to Vegas. And he said, I just got a call from the Southern District of New York. I said, yeah. He goes, you're going to be indicted.
That's that call.
And I said, indicted? What does that mean? I did not know what indicted meant. I knew it had something to do with being arrested, but I didn't really understand the particulars. So it's very interesting for those of you who think you understand what indicted is versus being arrested, et cetera. And that sort of put the kibosh on my UFC, AFC rivalry. I was planning to build a promotion that would rival the UFC. Now, at the time, the UFC was valued somewhere between 100 and 200 million. Today, it's valued at 12 billion plus. So my vision was spot on.
Spot on.
I picked an industry, a booming growth industry that I knew couldn't fail. And even if I was second or third in that arena, I would have had something worth 500 million, a billion, 250 million. I had raised 40 million, which I figured was enough to take this from A all the way to Z.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's really, in short, a synopsis of my foray into mixed martial arts. And boy, that I returned all the money, and I had to make a lot of phone calls and say, I don't know what's going to happen, but I told I have to fly up to New York and that I'm going to be arrested at FBI headquarters.
Oh, great.
And of course, they did the full-on perp walk. And I walked out of FBI headquarters, and they had arranged for every single newspaper, every single magazine, every single television
really
station.
Kick you when you're down.
They were outside, and I felt like it's like walking the red carpet at the Academy Awards, except it's
out of the FBI bureau,
out of the FBI headquarters into the arms of the whole media. And of course, I was on the 6 o'clock news, and whatever.
Yeah,
every city.
You became the headline.
I became a big headline.
You're a better man than I am, Ross. They would have had to come get me.
Right? I mean, it was just absolutely bananas. And that was all arranged by the Southern District of New York. But I found out later that's an illegal thing to do. It violated my constitutional rights. It's prejudicial, et cetera, et cetera. But, law enforcement, doesn't really care.
Yeah.
So that's the truth. That's my story. Check it out. I stand by every single thing I said. And it was going to be an incredible launch in Vegas. I was in the process of filming it all for a reality TV show called Facing Life. And the trailer is still on YouTube, and it's had like 100,000 views.
Yeah. You showed me that.
You just have to Google Ross Mandell Facing Life, and you see this whole big soiree, including the perp walk.
Yeah,
including the perp walk. Yes, I'm not embarrassed. I did nothing wrong. I am and was not guilty of the charges that were brought against me, and I have nothing to hide. My life is completely transparent. So check it out. It's the real thing.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty that comes with your story, is that there's really is nothing to hide when you really, at the end of the day, have people backing you on what the evidence was,
Yeah. You know what it is? I mean, even if you have something to hide in today's world, good luck.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everything. You go into a meeting and you talk about something, a subject, and you leave the meeting, and before you down in the elevator on the street, whoever you were meeting with is Googling everything. They already know everything there is to know.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
So we have a very transparent world today. And so, there are two approaches you can take. You can still try to conceal a bunch of stuff, which I feel is very foolish and dishonest. Or you can say, hey, this is me.
Yeah.
I'm authentic. I'm the real deal. I don't have to lie. I don't have to exaggerate. I don't have to bullshit. I don't have to make shit up. I don't want to hide.
Yeah.
Check me out. The tale is true. I am that guy, and I've always been that guy for 67 years at least. My past life, I don't know. I believe in reincarnation, so who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what or who I was? But truthfully, I think it's really important to own who you are, own your story.
Yeah.
I did my time. I did it like a man. I didn't whine and bitch and moan. I didn't plea. I didn't cop. I didn't look for a bargain. I went head to head with the government. I'm not going to admit to doing something that I didn't do just to bargain down my time when I don't deserve any time anyway. It was crazy. So, I paid that price, and now I'm free. And I want my story to get out there. I have nothing to hide, and I feel like I can help share and educate my experiences and the things that I've learned along the way, and help so many people. So many people are just depressed, are lonely, are struggling, living check to check.
Yeah.
Wondering where's the money? How come I don't have it? And these are all things that I can show you. I can help you, because that's what I've been doing. I've been chasing the almighty dollar since I'm like a kid, and I was very good at it, and I'm still good at it. And there are so many tips and tricks and techniques that you just don't know, and you can't go to some guy that never made it to advise you how to do it.
And that's, man, one thing I can't say about your curriculum. I've had the benefit to already read the whole entire thing, which is coming, just not yet. And the best thing,
I think the first 3 modules are for sale.
The first 3 modules are for sale, but let me tell you, when you read the whole thing, it's honestly life-changing. I'm not just saying that because this dude right here is my friend. It's giving information that you cannot find anywhere. And on top of not being able to find anywhere, you're learning from somebody that's not a teacher. He's somebody that lived the life, that actually did it. That's the problem with the courses nowadays. I've taken every single course that man has to offer, specifically in the financial space, and it's all theory. It's all theory.
If it's like taking workout advice from a guy that's 50 pounds overweight. I don't get it. There's an expression: those that can't do teach.
Yeah.
And I've become an educator almost by default. It was not my first choice. I was incarcerated in 2014, and I woke up one day at federal prison and said, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And I'm locked in a room with guys that never had a formal education, never held real jobs, never had a checking account, never finished high school. One guy never went to a club in his life. He was around 30 years old, and he had 10 more years to go. He was in jail he had a fresh 20 years. Guys that have just had such unfortunate stories. And along the way, I met all different types, every race, color, creed, size, religion. Guys are guys. People are just people to me. And we're all thrown in the same pot, and we're all just trying to get through the day and get do our time, get free, go back to our wives, our kids, our families, our communities. Some guys had, some guys didn't have. And, a lot of people came to me. I was sort of 57 years old when I went in. I was, Forbes covered my story. I was regarded as a multimillionaire from Wall Street, a smart guy, and thousands of people worked for me. I've done hundreds of deals, et cetera, et cetera. And guys like Mr. Mandell, I want to learn about the stock market. Mr. Mandell, I came up with this idea. My fiance has this product, and she wants to, see how she can market it and turn it into a business. What should we do? People would come to me asking for advice. And at some point, they wore me down. And I agreed to start teaching and helping. And I would start in the unit. We had 3 guys, 5 guys, 9 guys, 15 guys. The cops come in one day and said, "What are you doing?" Mandel, I said, I'm teaching business courses to these guys. He goes, we could charge you with inciting a riot because you got 15 guys organized all sitting there listening to me. I said, what? This is insanity. They said, look, just why don't you go to education and you could have a class. So I went to education. They signed me up. I started teaching ACE classes. I went to psychology. I started teaching motivation and betterment classes. And, 57, 58, 59, 60. I was in jail for 9 years and 4 months. What? I had a 12-year sentence. And I started educating it. And the only time I really enjoyed myself while I was in prison was when I was helping other people. And this is an axiom that's it's as old as man. They say, if you want to feel better about yourself, doesn't matter who you are, what you're going through, find someone that has it worse off than you.
Yeah.
And help them.
Yeah.
And you will feel better.
I agree with
And
that.
like when I first heard that, I said, what kind of horseshit is this? I don't buy it. But I actually lived it. And I was in AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm a drug addict. And I got sober. I was sober for 28 years, going on 30 years. And you help people. And when you help someone that has it worse than you, it doesn't matter what you're going through. There's someone always that has it worse than you.
Yeah, I agree.
There are guys that are blind and deaf and have no legs and no arms. You could just go on. And you help somebody that has it worse than you, and you'll feel better about yourself. And I said, all right. And I started helping people, and I got a lot out of it. It was very funny. I'm teaching basic business, basic stock market stuff, basic stuff, for me, ABC. And I found it rewarding. And guys would come running up to me, hey, Mr. May, Rock Solid, they would call me, because I wrote a book called Rock Solid, and I never published it for the world, but I had to publish, send like 500 books to the prisons. And everybody was reading it, passing it around. They call me OG, original gangster.
Yeah.
We're rock solid. Rock. And true. And I got a lot of, I felt it was like an esteemable thing.
Yeah.
Helping people.
Because it is.
And so everybody said, well, I was in prison holding these courses. When you get out, if you could just do this on the internet, 1 million people will sign up. And I'm like, I didn't even really understand that much about the internet. I always had technology people working for me. And I thought about it, because I'm basically retired. And, I said, let me check this out. And I've been learning all about social media. I've been learning about, distributing courses online, using technology, using paid media, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, let's go. Let's try it. So if I can help 1 million people come out of sort of the financial bottom of the barrel.
No, you will.
If I can help people to change the course of their lives, but for real, not like some bullshit ad or some get rich quick scheme. There's no such thing as get rich quick. The only one that gets rich quick is a guy selling you the scheme. And this is I created a real course for people that, didn't get MBAs at Wharton or Stanford. Okay. I created something that, in my opinion, every major business school will one day want or have as their curriculum.
I could agree with that.
It's really, it's mint.
Yeah.
And I worked real hard. It took years, really, of all this actually doing, trial and error. Well, how do you explain a business to somebody that's never had a business? How do you explain the markets to someone that's never had a stock brokerage account?
Yeah.
How do you explain derivatives and currencies and, all the different things that, go and are involved in buying and selling securities, in funding a company, creating a pitch deck, creating a business plan, a vision board, a vision plan, corporate messaging, exit strategies, how to value a company. I mean, we just did module 8. And I watched it myself, even though I recorded it and helped write it. And I was blown away.
Yeah, I was too.
Watching module 8, a 12-minute module, how to value your company, what goes into it. And I said, wow, this is really good stuff. And so, I'm very proud of this product, because at this point in my life, if I'm not entertained and really loving something
I'm not going to do it.
I'm not interested. I'm not, all I have is time now. I don't have that much. I'm not in my 30s, Drew.
Yeah.
Or even in my late 20s. Hobnobbing in Paris with French pastry chefs. By the way, she's beautiful.
She is.
And she's an amazing cook.
She is.
And Paris is a very loving city.
No, but seriously, I do get the feel that I'm proud to say I went through college and I ended up dropping out because I felt like the system I was going through, no matter what, I had to drag myself to learn. I had to push myself to do things that I really didn't want to do. And you're among maybe probably the only course that I've taken, and I'm actually excited to learn about something that I don't know of. And that feeling, if somebody resonates with me about that feeling, learning about something and being excited to learn about something that you don't know, it's very hard to find nowadays, especially with social media, that the only thing you like seeing is, comedy, or like seeing other people's stress. And it's just kind of the world's going to shit.
Let me tell you my feeling, because I've had a lot of time to reflect on this and to digest everything. I get bored very easily.
Yeah, I agree.
I get bored very easily. Okay. You have my attention. You get 10 seconds. If not, I love to be entertained. I love entertainment. So when we created this curriculum, we made it entertaining as fuck. It is entertaining.
Yeah, the videos are entertaining.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Real life examples.
Yeah.
We're talking about this. We're talking about that. It's stuff you can relate to.
And it's so practical.
And we're laughing. We're having fun.
Yeah.
If it's not entertaining, to me, it's shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm not interested in some guy reading me off a text or off a monitor or whatever. It has to be cool. It has to be hip. It has to be interesting. And I have to get something out of it. And if I'm bored and I'm not giving it my full attention, zero, zip, nada. I need something that piques my interest, like when an attractive woman walks by and you see a whole crowd of guys go, whoop. People dig visual stimulation.
Yeah.
People dig mental stimulation.
Especially nowadays.
And so we had to really go above and beyond the mere casework. Business can be fun, can be interesting, can be exciting, but you have to be able to relate to it. It cannot put you to sleep. You cannot tune out in the first 10, 15 seconds and think you're going to get something after 10 minutes. Forget it. You're gone. You're zoned out. You're thinking about something else. You might as well just go watch Netflix.
Yeah.
That's how I really feel. So we did our best to make it interesting, to make it entertaining, to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And I know that we succeeded because I watch it. And, if I don't like it, I say next. Tear it down. Build another
agree.
one.
I see. There's a bunch of questions here. Let's read some of these. I'm too far away from the prompt. What do we got going there, Nels?
All righty.
Start from the top. Let's not skip nobody.
Let's see what we got here.
And Coach Andre Benke sent us another comment. He says, "My brother, we're still on a mission. We need to get that belt."
I love it, my bro. Get your ass into America. I'm glad you worked out those little immigration issues. Benke is a vicious trainer.
Yeah.
He trains world champions, the best. Black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, one of the best and most famous MMA trainers in the world.
Wow.
He reached out to me earlier today, by the way. I'm psyched you're on this call.
That is awesome.
That's real. That's not fake.
That's awesome.
He's a real deal.
Got another comment here. Ross, you were changing lives then and you're changing lives now. Hats off to you, my brother. All love.
That's awesome.
We don't know who that is, do we?
That's our good friend Joey Delgado.
Wow, Joey, what's up, baby?
And let's see what else we got.
Changing
here.
lives. That's what we're about. If I can't add value to your life, shoot me. Then I'm worthless. You have to be able to add value. There are so many people today, they suck the energy out of you. They suck the energy out of your room. Negative nillies. I can't stand it. You have to be additive. You have to be able to enrich people's lives, keep people moving. You bring your energy. Yeah. And you hope that people can grab onto some of that energy and be a little bit of a light in their life. And then they're the takers. Everybody here knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that gets you on the phone, and next thing you know, you just want to hang yourself because he just sucked the life out of you.
Yeah.
Or sucked the life out of the room, or in a business meeting, etc. Anything else, Nelson, look interesting?
I want to look like you at your age.
Let me tell you, I have looked better.
Wait, so you found boxing realistically because of an injury?
It was healing, correct. But I have to say, I've had great coaches, great trainers, smart guys. When he told me he's going to heal my shoulder, I really thought he was just nuts. And Billy, by the way, he is nuts. Billy is quite nuts. But he's good nuts.
Yeah.
And he's a brilliant trainer.
Yeah.
A brilliant, hands guy. And, stand-up fighting, boxing, dirty boxing, etc. And just getting through one of his workouts was so intense, so beneficial. Just, the stretching,
dude,
and the drills and all these things.
How much were you weighing? I saw a video of you, I think, hitting the mitts. If this is this Billy guy, you look like a silverback.
I was a big kid.
How much were you weighing?
I've weighed
in that video. You were in the boxing ring.
Right. I've weighed. I used to walk around, generally speaking, 210, 212, but I'm 5'9". I was really solid. But I've been as high as 225, 230.
You were looking in the 220s.
I will confess, I was juicing. I will confess, but legally, above board, I had medical prescriptions, and I was an older guy.
Yeah.
And any of you that are over 40 or over 50, and you haven't tried some anti-aging solutions to your life, injectable testosterone, things of that nature, Somorlin, which is enables your body to produce growth hormone. At the age of 40, there's no more growth hormone.
Yeah.
Your body is not producing anymore. And these are things that are naturally occurring in the body that, unfortunately, because of aging, disease, disorder, lifestyle, the body stops producing. And so it used to be back of the gym kind of stuff, but today it's medical science. In fact, the insurance company pays for your testosterone today. If you're an older man, they pay for your testosterone. You get it from CVS Pharmacy or Walgreens. It's become mainstream anti-aging medicine.
Yeah.
And the word anti-aging is spectacular because today, 70 is the new 50.
Yeah.
60 is the new 40.
Yeah.
That makes me about 85. I'm playing, everybody. 67 years young.
No, I always tell him that he looks by far the best person I've ever seen his age, both mental and physical. So
thank you, bro.
He's not lying.
We're coming up to 40 minutes. This is usually the magic time to start to wind it down. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the story.
And just so you guys know, this team will be in Vegas 1 week from right now.
Oh, less than 1 week.
Right, but we'll be well into Vegas. And we're going there to make a big deal.
I think we're going to do the vlog. I think we got to do the day in the life of Ross Mandell.
We're going to be filming the whole thing.
Okay, day in the life of Ross Mandell. You guys can see that coming.
That's the plan. It's going to get nuts. Vegas. What a trip.
Yeah.
What a trip.
A lot to tell very soon.
Nevada's coming, everybody.
Everybody have a great rest of the day.
We'll see you live from Las Vegas.
Have a good one.
Enjoy.